Yeah. What's up with it,
Yeah,
man? How you been?
good, man. Everything's good. I'm always, feel like it's a pleasure to speak to you because, we've been supporting you for so many years since the beginning. And quite
Yeah.
honestly, man, when you drop new music, you never let us down. So it's like
That's what's
each of the
up.
singles you released since the beginning of the pandemic, I'm like, feeling them all. And it's almost like I'm waiting for you to slip. It's like, nope, but here's another banger. We got another one. All right, all right. You know
Hey,
what it
well, that's good.
actually is?
That's good to know, man. So now I know, like, when I'm putting this music out, like, it's they expect it. They expect it to slip, man. So you got to get it right. You feel me?
Yeah. You know what I really admire about you though is that like it really feels like you're in control of your creative direction. It's not like you're trying to follow trends. You're
Yeah.
like just following your style, and I really appreciate that. Is that really what you're feeling right now?
Nah, absolutely. More than ever, bro. More than
Yeah.
ever. I think we talked. We spoke. What was that? 2019. We spoke
We
2019, bro, and I was kind of getting a glimpse of it, getting
yeah
a glimpse of what it was like to really put that work in for yourself and
yeah
for your vision, how to apply it, just all them, all the whatnots, man. And then the pandemic hit, bruh, and I think that really put me back in a space to be completely just in my bag, man. And
yeah
when I say in my bag, just like the song, in my feelings,
yeah
and not in a negative way, in a very positive way. Be in my feelings, be about exactly who I am and what I am, not the social media stuff, not, the industry stuff, nothing. Complete shutdown, complete reset, and fall back in love with you,
yeah
So, I mean, everything about me represents freedom, represents, control of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I grew my hair out because it was like, man, what am I cutting my hair for? Where am I
yeah
going? You
yeah
know what I mean? And then I fell back in love with that. Like, oh man, I used to rock the long hair back in high school, get the
yeah
prep, and the girls be combing my hair in class and stuff. I'm like, I'm getting back to this dude, and back in, you know, um, in this Bay Area vibe, man. This Bay Area feel, like this, you know what I mean? It's these first two songs kind of give a glimpse, but where we're going from here gets very interesting.
Wow, I got you. End of the day, man. Woo. Man, that is such a great song. I love that one, man. And what I love is that what I love because a lot of R&B you're hearing these days. It's like everyone's trying to be so cool. You don't hear much vulnerability or expressing feelings and emotion. Now, I'm not trying to like diss anyone or say anything bad, but that's just like there's a whole generation and population of R&B lovers. That's what they need. Something that speaks to them and shares their feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, man, for me, it's like it was just being back in my space and element from the town, from the Bay Area, from Oakland. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
to us, that is cool. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That is cool to be vulnerable. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, if you lucky, you get to be vulnerable. If you lucky to have somebody that make you feel like that, if you lucky to have a bond that puts you in that mental space, you know what I'm saying? And the people I know, the OGs that I know, or the young players, whatever it is, like, you know, this is how they talk to their women.
yeah,
This is the way they speak to him. You know what I mean? It'd be the most hardcore OG dude in town. Like, don't mess with him. You know what I mean? But his woman can talk to him. His woman know. She know that soft side to him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it really was a masculine take on vulnerability. Like,
Right.
you don't. Vulnerability doesn't mean soft. Just like I'm
Yeah,
saying, being in
yeah,
my feelings doesn't mean soft or sad or. Nah, we have to reconstruct how we see things, and life is all about our perspectives. So
right.
it is cool for me to say, man, I got you. At the end of the day, I'll pull up on a nigga, I'll slide for you. And it's not even about me being hard. It's not even about me being a thug. Nah, it's just, this is how much I got you. This is how much I love you. This is our thing. Somebody disrespects you, I know it was out of pocket. So
Right,
I'm on the way. It's these things and these elements that I grew up around seeing. This is the way I watch the women around me care. So
right.
again, just getting back to root, man, getting back to where you're actually from, you know, and who you actually are. And that's me, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love that outlook and really respect it. You know, it's interesting. I was doing, research on your career, just reading back to the old, older stuff about you, interviews we did, and
Yeah.
checking out all your music. I listened back to all of it, and it's just like, man, I don't even know how he survived through the R&B, how it's evolved, and because listen, you were part of this generation, right? In the
Yeah.
early 2010s, that was like to me the last link to like traditional R&B, but like still
Yeah.
progressive. And then it's
Yeah.
like the industry tried to kill that off. And then
Oh
it's
yeah.
like
Oh
it's
yeah.
gone in so many directions since. I mean, how have you stayed sane and stayed like not so upset at the way things in R&B have changed?
I mean, it's the same way I take things on life. Like everything is not about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to take the hit because of,
yeah,
what genres are going through, and again, I think when you just stay in your box, when you stay in your space and do what comes natural to you, you're not so much worried about the changes,
yeah.
you know, because changes do just that. They continue to change. So if you're
Right.
trying to keep up with that, man, that's some stressful. That's some
Yeah,
stressful shit, man. I can't do it. I'm just really about real time. I think in my early days, like 2014, 2013, R&B wasn't real. It was. I think it's furthest it's been in a while from really being on that hype. Like it was very much club driven and things,
yeah,
and high tempos and stuff. And just with time, starts to slow down, starts to get a little more real, and then even more real. And then now it's creative and real. So now it's not your traditional way, but it is a new fly twist. You know what I mean? And I think if you can just keep your sanity through all of these things, through all of these time changes, and focus on how you can just continue to grow, not change yourself, but evolve.
right.
Um, it's always been the focus for me to evolve. Like, I look forward to me in the next few years because I can't wait to see that. What does that person look like? What does he sound like now? Like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I just keep my blinders on. I keep focusing and I just keep pushing forward, man. That's really it.
Yeah, I love it. You got to share some insight though, like, and this is not to diss any labels or anything, but like, what was it even like being an R&B artist on a major label, in the mid 2010s? Like, what were they trying to, get you to do? Like, how were they trying to fit you into the scene? I'm just curious if you could give any insight.
Well, I think one thing about my situation was dope was that, man, I didn't get signed off numbers. I didn't get signed off
Yeah,
of none of that. My deal solely came from the music. You know, it was the music. Unfortunately, the way the business works, um, what may get you signed is not necessarily what may come out.
right.
So we had a lot of good music that was good enough to get a great deal, but again, with the time changes, labels have to focus on that. Labels
Yeah,
have to follow those trends and things. So when you don't have a lot of leverage and you don't really even have the mass fan base yet, you kind of have to you figuring it out.
yeah.
You figuring it out, and I don't blame anybody. Hold on, because my dogs are going crazy. Come on,
All right.
hey. Yeah, but it was really just the changes that were happening that they were following, man. And we tried to be good partners and try different things. So you got your spending the night alones, you got your take your times, you got these other records, that were really far fetched from what we were doing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
2
But
a.m. was one of those, or
2 a.m. was definitely one of those
yeah,
as well, but just so happened that, I got to see what it was like to be in agreement with the machine, though. When
yeah,
you're in agreement with the machine and they feeling what you feeling and they going on that, oh man, that's a beautiful situation, that gets you top five. That
Yeah.
gets, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? That breaks the record. But with that time, more changes came, and music shifted. So R&B was not as strong anymore. It was going to this other type of vibe. Like you had your Lords, Royals had just dropped. You had
Yeah.
Gautier just dropped, somebody that I used to know. It was these styles of records that were coming out, especially for a label like Universal Republic.
Yeah.
And at that point, they let go of the entire urban department. So again, I don't take things personal. It's like you get caught in the crossfire, you
Yeah.
know. And we got to walk away. We got to reset. We didn't have to,
Yep.
I didn't go through the bitter, tainting situation where you get put on the shelf and you
Yeah.
get a veil over your head and you got to wait for every and anything. It was really like, look, hey man, sorry, great. And that was cool. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect, man. I don't owe nothing. I ain't got to do none of that. Oh, we good.
Yeah.
We straight. So I think the situation more or less just taught me, man, to just, again, go deeper into being indisposable,
Right.
not necessarily needing them, but be putting yourself in a position where, both parties can benefit. It's it's
Right.
it's, it's not about, me looking for anything now. Like now I understand it. I might not have known about royalties and mechanicals and copyrights and all of these things, my publishing. I might not know these things the way I do now had I just kept going.
Yeah.
Be the situation like so many artists we see that, you know, they're experiencing the excuse me, shitty end of these bad contracts.
Yeah.
Later on, it's the back end. So, I think, I take it as a blessing, man. It's just the way that it's just the way that things go, and you either let it make you or break you. You feel me? And for me, I look like, man, it's like, what's that line they said in Shaft? Like, you think that make me more dangerous or less dangerous? Like, you feel me? Like, now I'm free. You
Yeah.
feel me? So, it's been a fun process creating freely, though. You feel me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we hear that in your music, so it's a beautiful thing. But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'll never. I don't think I'll ever be able to accept "Spending the Night Alone" as an Adrian Marcel song. I'm like, that's Adrian Marcel, but that's not Adrian Marcel. So,
You
you
know it,
know.
man. And you know what? Shout out to Rico Love. He's a fire
Yeah,
writer,
we love
fire
Rico Love.
producer.
Absolutely.
Love
Yeah.
Rico Love, man. That's the homie. Um, but at the same time, like it really was it was just the way things were set up. It was
Right.
it was the setup. For me, I like to get in and work. Let's do multiple records, and with labels sometimes it's like we're really just looking for one record. We just need one record.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, let us get in here and lock in. Let everybody lock
Yeah.
in, get fresh, get started. You know what I mean? We might have one that we started with, and by the time we done, we want to go back and redo that or fix it or add something. And now that is a even better song. You know what I mean? There's so many elements to the
Right.
process now, man, especially that in this year I've been able to learn because I've took on a lot of new creative creative directions and processes, man, and yeah, I think it's imperative, man, throughout all of this to make sure that, you're just a part of everything. You're a part of it
Yeah.
all, you know?
Absolutely. But looking back, what is I guess your project that you would say, yo, I killed that album or that EP or mixtape? Like, what's the one for you that's your number one if you had to? Because I just revisit it. I have my own thoughts. Do you have your? I'm curious to hear what you say.
Yeah. From like my whole thing.
Yeah, from day one.
Sheesh, man. Uh, I would say it would have to be between. It would be between 7 days a week. It would be between the first week after next, and low key, it would be between this new music, like, because all all three of them were done in a similar sense.
Yeah.
It was very collaborative. It was very family oriented. Um, it was I don't know, it was just like completely putting nothing but faith and love and energy into records, you know.
Right.
And 7 days a week was that time, and I was making records out of pain. I was making records out of survival. Like, I need to make these records, and
Wow.
we need to make these records this good, because this is the only way we get out of this situation. You know,
Wow.
like, this is the only way that we elevate and make it all make sense. So
Right.
there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of, you know, just survival mode in those records. But Week After Next was the first project where, you know, you're seeing success, you're seeing it paying off, and now you're creating again, and, you know, you want to outdo yourself, you know, and completely locking in, trying new things. You know, everybody has their opinions of how music is impacted and things. But, you know, for me, I really feel like when we worked on Week After Next, we were ahead of the current. We were a little ahead of the time. So if you go back in 2015, when Week After Next came out, that was right before R&B took the transition back to, you know, mid-tempo and, you
Yeah.
know, more melancholy, you know, and that's what we were doing. So the labels couldn't understand it. Like, you know, they were just like, we don't get it. You know, we don't
Mm.
understand what this is. And you have records like Honey on there. You have records like Two Fingers. And I mean, we were talking the most toxic shit there was to talk
Yeah.
about back then, you know? And then that's where the wave went once we had to push it by ourselves and the label wasn't willing
Right.
to push it. So,
Right.
you know, it was out there, but it was out there, but it was out there for the taking, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really still love that project. But this new music for me, I feel like I'm in those similar spaces, but just in better mental spaces in them, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm really focused on the music. I'm really focused on the love that's in them, and I'm making them out of love. I'm making them out of, you know, straight vibe. You know,
Right.
my vibe tribe is crazy. So, you know, it's really all about the people you put around you, you know, like, you know, talented individuals, man, like Sunny B, like Ren Nicole, Max Perry, Kid Jupiter, Too Tall, and Alex Hightone. I mean, it's so many people that I was able to lock in with and just catch a new love for music again and the creative
Right.
process, you know. So
That's dope.
I'm think to sum it up, man, those three, it's really hard to just choose one, because I think all three of them are impactful to me, and where I'm at and where I've been, you know, and where I'm going, you know.
Right. No, I totally get it. Before we talk some more about your new music, I did something which I think is a little fun. So I love to
Okay.
celebrate artists like yourself. And like I said,
Okay.
I went back and listened to all your projects. I made a list of what I consider your best songs, if I can.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And I want to hear your feedback. I mean, this is my personal list. These might not be your best songs, but these are the ones I feel the most. So I'm going to give you my
Okay.
list. You could definitely let me know what you think. Anyone who's listening, let us know what you think. But
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the honorable mentions.
Okay.
From 7 Days a Week. Believe it or not, I like Wrapped. I don't know if a lot of people are feeling that one, but I've always loved that one. So that's a favorite, right?
Yeah.
These are the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Week After Next, I had I Get It, I had No Way, and Be Mine. So I had those three.
So
and these are just the honorable mentions.
So you didn't.
No, these are just the honorable mentions. I'm not even into the top 10 yet.
Okay. All right. Talk to me.
From Reloaded, I had Is It Over, and I had Don't Take Your Love Away. I like those two.
That's crazy. Yes, crazy records.
From Got Me Effed Up, I had Imagination. And remember, these are just honorable mentions. I'm still going to get to the top 10.
Of course.
From 98th, I had You Know I Do, which I really liked. Even though it wasn't a full, you know, it was only about 2 minutes, right?
I'm gonna tell you real quick. That one wasn't supposed to be a full song, because I was just extremely excited that I had produced it. And
Gotcha.
it was one of the first ones that I started producing when I started working on 98. So Yeah. So that's why I was
I
just like, nah,
actually,
this is quick. This is quick. This is me just feeling
I,
myself, you
but
know?
I think that's what I really like about it. What caught me was the production. It's just kind of majestic, and it
Yes.
just like
Yeah,
is catchy. So dope, very
yeah,
good work on there. And
that's
then
what's
of course
up.
I had to put Nowhere as an honorable mention as well. That's grown on me as well. For
Yes,
the top
yes,
10,
yes. All right,
I
top
feel like
10.
my top 10 is going to be way different than everyone else's, but from
Okay,
7 days a week, I had My Life on there.
okay.
Like that one a lot. I have Feelings from Week After Next. From
Yes.
also for Week After Next, I have New N Word. I
Okay,
can't say it.
okay.
And then I have It's Over. I have as well
Okay,
from Week After Next.
okay.
From Reloaded, I have Timeless. That's probably my personal favorite song of yours. Timeless.
Timeless, man. There we go. Yeah,
Um,
you talking that stuff right now, man. Yeah.
from Got Me Effed Up, You Know You Do. You know, it
Uh-huh.
starts out with the skit
Yeah.
and it goes, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just like you just like bearing your soul on that one. Like it's, so much feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also on
Straight up.
Got Me Effed
Straight.
Up, I have Thinking. So
Ooh.
Thinking is next. On 98th, I have The Way, which to me is a great example of how you're able to
Yeah.
merge like modern and traditional.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
Slow Burn. That's another of my personal favorites. And then
Yes.
I Got You, End of the Day is the last one. So my
Oh,
list
what?
might be
We made the
totally
top 10.
already. It's already in.
Yeah.
So
Shit.
I'm curious though, anything you're surprised I didn't mention? I know you said Go earlier, but those were my
Yeah,
personal.
man. No, I'm not. You. If you're asking if I'm surprised, I'm not surprised, bro. Because that's just the way music is supposed to be perceived, man. Like it's
Yeah,
all about perspective. It's all about like, you know, what you take from it,
yeah,
And I love that you have your favorites and you have your reasonings for that, whether it's the music, whether it's, the lyrics, the melody, the feeling that
yeah,
you get, the what it reminds you of or where it takes you back to. It's just, we all have our vibes, man. So, I don't get surprised when people tell me what their favorite records are and stuff, man. Like,
yeah,
I love it. I love it, man. I like I said, I would have, you know, I have my personal favorites, the ones that always stood out, like Go, again, Honey, um, shoot, there was a Just for Me, I
mm,
mean, but these were just, I think they were my favorites because they were just so left and different from what I was used to doing, and they're
right,
different vibes, you know what I mean? And even today, even now, like I'm playing with new vibes, I'm playing with new melodies, with new formulas, man. So it's in the same way Week After Next was. I feel like I'm in a space of just like my own, and I don't know whether it's present, whether it's ahead. I just know it ain't dated. it ain't
yeah,
behind,
yeah,
but whatever it is, it's right where it's in the right hands. You feel me?
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it a buck.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. If there's anything you take away from that list I just gave you, just keep this in mind. I've been, doing this for a long time. I listen to so much R&B music, like from everyone.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, I gravitate to certain things, but from artists who've come out from your generation, you're probably one of the few I could even put together a top 10 and honorable mention
Oh,
list for. There's not many. So what I'm trying to say is like you've made such quality music over this time. I want to celebrate you
yes,
for that. There's not many
man.
that are
I
deserving of
appreciate
that.
that.
So much
Yeah.
respect.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. For real.
Yeah.
That means a lot. You're right, because today it is difficult, to find, just not good music, but just very authentic, man.
Right.
Like for me, that's what I'm always looking for is just authenticness. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
for you to have, like you said, if if you saying it's hard to do that, but you can do that for the records that you've heard from me and from my catalog, bruh, I just appreciate you, wholeheartedly, bruh.
Absolutely, man.
That's real.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so fill us in, man. I know you've been talking about some of your new music you've been working on. What can we expect next?
man. In my bag is out right now.
Yep.
It's doing crazy. It's doing extremely well, bro. I love the record. I love the vibe of it, man. It's again, like I said, just playing with different melodies, playing with different things, man. I'm enjoying it. You know, we're looking at an EP. I was gonna try to cram it in, but this music is special to me. So, we're gonna do it right. We got the video that we got coming out for In My Bag. Again, shout out to Momo and the Vigilante crew, man. They shot I Got You, and that video's crazy. I love it. You know what I mean? Just the vibe and nostalgia of it. Keeping that whole thing, man. Like I said, I'm really in this R&B kind of vibe, man. And
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying it, working with the squad, working with the Vibe Tribe, man. And we're gonna keep dropping a couple records up into this EP, just so everybody can be in the vibe, be in full focus when it comes, And I've been in the lab all year. I've been working all year 2021 for 22. So 2022 is like it's all coming to a city near you. That's it.
Wow.
That's
Dope.
it. Tours like I've done enough music. I've done enough music for a whole nother some odd years at this point. So, yeah, shout out to the squad, Sunny B, Nicole, High Tone, Too Tall, Max, Jupiter. I mean, all these entities, man, of just individuals, bro, that just keep feeding the momentum, everybody keeping everybody intact, and pushing, so it's time, man. I haven't got to tour in a while, and I think that's been my focus all this year is preparing for that, man. So, we're gonna be touring all year, man. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna see everybody that I can, man, from every land, every sea, whatever. You know.
That sounds amazing, man. 2022 is going to be a big year for you. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to it. Now, like I said,
Come
you
on.
never let us down with new music, so
Yeah,
obviously I'm
yeah, I
excited about
appreciate it.
it.
I appreciate that
But
for real, man.
absolutely. But I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I know you had to step outside just to do this interview. I'm going to let you get back in. Hey,
Nah,
man.
it's
But
good.
I
It's
just,
good.
I want to just thank you again for always taking the time out and, supporting us as well. Man, we
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
appreciate you, and we'll always be here to support you, man.
Hey, man, it's all love. I appreciate y'all. To everybody watching, everybody tuned in, keep rocking. I appreciate y'all running them streams up. I got you. The video, official music video on my YouTube. Subscribe, follow me. Keep it lit, man, because we gonna turn this R&B thing up a little bit. It's time to turn it up a little notch, man. So I
Nice,
appreciate
man.
everybody, though. It's all love.
Awesome, man. Adrian, good talking to you, man. We'll catch up again soon.
It's good. Peace.